Hey everyone, GirlMeetsPixels here, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to Let's Renovate 114 Foothill Drive Part 2. This is the last part to this renovation, and we are decorating the inside of the house. We're doing all the floor paint, or not the floor paint, wall paint and the floors, and putting down just all the decorations and just making it all come together and look super cute. So yeah, I'm really excited about this house. I think it turned out super cute. If you didn't see the first part, I definitely recommend going and checking that out. It was just where I renovated the outside, fixed up the landscaping, did all that good stuff. So I will put that down below in the description bar so you guys can go check it out. But yeah, so this house is available for download, and I have an unfurnished and furnished version. And I also do have a text file with all of the custom content linked so that you guys will be able to go and get the custom content even if you don't want the house completely furnished. So you can go and download all that custom content separately if that's what you want to do. So I decided to give you guys a lot of good options. I personally recommend downloading this unfurnished just because it does come with a lot of custom content, a lot of CC, and a lot of objects, and it can slow your game down. So just a little forewarning. So yeah, personally, I'd go with the unfurnished, but I want to give you guys options. So I have both of those. All that good stuff is down in the description bar, so you guys can go and check that out. But we are starting here in the kitchen, which is normally the place I start in almost any house I decorate, just because, I don't know, it gives the start of the style. I get to figure out which direction we're going with the style of the house and like what kind of look I want to go for. And it's just kind of like a nice starting point. Plus, the layouts of kitchens tend to be easy-ish to deal with. So I don't know, I find it's just a nice simple place to start rather than jumping into the living room or like the office or something like that. So yeah, so I did use the Bayside collection from the Sims store. I do have quite a bit of Sims 3 store stuff in this house, so also be forewarned for that. If it's not on the custom content list, that means it is store content, or it comes with expansion packs or stuff packs. So yeah, just so you guys know. But yeah, so I did use the Bayside collection, which I think I used it in the last renovation I did. So I'm really sorry about that. I need to go and download more custom content counters, because I just feel like we don't have enough. Like, just not enough cute ones, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah, so I did use these. And then I started placing small little appliances. There's that really cute little mixer right there. I love using that, and I hardly ever place it in my kitchens, so I was excited to be able to use that. And then I did add just like little baking stuff. I didn't clutter up the kitchen too much because it isn't a big kitchen at all. There was a little bit of limited space there. So yeah, so I didn't want to clutter up the counters and all that too much. There's not like an island or anything. It's just a U-shaped kitchen, kind of simple to be quite honest. But I think it turned out really cute. I don't do any of like the recoloring of any of the objects on camera. I mean, I might do a few if any of those snuck in through editing. But for the most part, I tend to do all my recoloring off camera because it takes me forever. So the house, how it looks now, isn't going to stay like that, but the object placement is, if that makes sense. So if you're like, wow, she picked some really ugly colors, like why is she not changing anything? That's just because I do it all off camera. But in the end, at the very end of the video, you guys will get to see how everything came together and all the color palettes and colors I picked. So yeah, so stay tuned for that so you can actually see the full transformation of this house. But yeah, so the kitchen's mostly done at this point, and we're moving into the little dining area. They don't really have like a dining room. They kind of have like just a little nook. So yeah, so it's just a little round table there that seats four. Nothing too crazy because, like I said, they just don't have the room for it. And then we're moving our way across the room to the living room. And I wanted to do like a little ottoman here where they could like sit down and put their shoes on and like grab their stuff before they head out the door. But then when I started placing like other furniture like in the living room area, it just got too cluttered. It was just too much stuff, and it isn't a big house. So the room and making sure everything still feels spacious is really necessary. So I actually ended up getting rid of it, but I really liked the ottoman. I thought it was super cute, and I totally would have kept it if I had a little bit more space. Then I put up a cute little porch swing. Oh my goodness, I haven't used that at all, I don't think. And I was like, why do I never use this porch swing? It is so cute. So I put that out on the little front porch. And then now I'm just trying to figure out the layout. I had to turn the grid on to make sure we had enough room, like walking room and everything. I didn't play test the house, which I probably should have. But I honestly, to be quite honest, never play test my houses when I put them up for download. So also be warned about that. There might be issues with routing that you might have to fix if you buy the furnished, or not buy, but if you download the furnished version for your little Sims. So I apologize if there's any issues with that. I really need to start playtesting my houses before I put them up for download. So that is something I will try to work on for the future. But yeah, so this is, at first I wanted to do 2 couches so that they had enough room for entertaining, and if people came over that there'd be enough room for everyone to sit down. But I actually end up getting rid of the second couch that's on the left there and just do some sitting chairs, because it was just, as you can see, getting very crowded. And I was like, there's too many big pieces of furniture here. It's just not working, and I need to figure something out, because I want to make sure that there's still enough seating for everyone, but it's not too heavy in the space. So I ended up deleting it, but I think this couch is super cute. I actually recently downloaded it. I'm not exactly for sure off the top of my head where it's from, but it is, like I said, listed in the custom content stuff, or the custom content list that I have that you guys can download. But yeah, so here I am putting in those sitting chairs, and I feel like it looks a lot better. I feel like it opens up the space way more than what it was. And now there's actually room for my Sims to actually walk, which is important. So I guess we'll survive without the other love seat. But yeah, this house was just a little cramped, a little smaller than what I normally decorate with, but it was okay. It was all good. And I love that fireplace. I actually recolor it and make it like a brick kind of texture, and I think it turns out super cute. So I didn't want to get rid of the fireplace. Normally I would be like, you know what, let's just delete the fireplace. It's taking up space we really don't have. But, I just put the TV to the side of it. I was like, we're going to make this work. And I don't know, I think it turned out pretty nice. It's like if people moved in and they're like, oh, we have all this stuff and we need to make it work in our new small house. This is kind of how people get creative. They just make it work. This is what they do. But yeah, so the living room's mostly done. For the most part, I'm adding in tiny little details, little picture frames and flowers to brighten up the space, make it feel more lived in. I added a little coffee or teacup on the coffee table, added some tissues as if they were maybe watching a sad movie, or I don't know, maybe they have really bad allergies. I'm not sure. They live their lives how they want to live their life. But then we now move into the office / multi-purpose room, I guess. It's kind of like this spare room that I didn't fully know what to do with at first. I was like, I definitely, of course, have to put a computer desk and an office kind of area without it being an entire office, because it's not like that. It's not a room that's really meant to be an entire office. So I add in this little corner, this little tiny corner for the office. And then I add a little children's play area, because the Sims that do live in this, in my save file where I was going to put this house, they're expecting their baby. So I was like, you know what? When their child grows up, there'll be a place for the toddler to play and all that good stuff. So yeah, I do add that in. And then I also add in a chess table, I think, and then some cat toys. So I just make it kind of like a multi-purpose room that kind of works for everyone, works for the parents, works for the cat, works for the toddler / baby. So I really like how it turns out. It turns out a lot better than than where I thought it was going at first. But this office area I think is so adorable. It's super just this tiny little corner, but it has this cute shelf. I put the chalkboard so it looks like it's leaning against the shelf and leaning against the wall. I added a cute little custom content mug of pencils that I don't think I've used at all. And it's been sitting in my game for a while now. So I was like, yes, I finally get to use these cute like little pencils. Add in another picture frame. Add in, I think I keep the flowers, but I move them down to the desk. And then it has like a little lamp there for light. And that chair, oh my goodness, that custom content chair is to die for. It has like velvet on it. And I recolor it, of course, but like, oh my gosh, it is such a cute chair. I'm like in love with it, and I want to use it in all of my Sims houses. It's the perfect just like little accent chair, and I want one in real life just like it. Like, I think it is the perfect shape. It's just super cute, and I'm in love with it. So if I could buy one in real life, I would, because I think it is super cute. And then just trying to figure out curtains and stuff, but I actually just end up using the same ones from the living room. I was like, Brittany, what am I trying to do? Like, what are you, girl? Just use the ones in the living room. It's so much easier. And then I put down this super cute little teepee and some toys. I put the little duck in the teepee, which I thought was super adorable. And just make it like a little play area. So like if the mom or dad is working on the computer, then they can watch their little toddler, watch him or her play. And it's just a nice filler. It was a nice way to fill up the area without it being too much stuff. Not like, I didn't want like a full-on like skill room or anything like that. So like I said, just a nice, perfect little multi-purpose room. And then I'm like, okay, well, what are we gonna add here? I was like, maybe workout equipment. That didn't work. So I actually ended up putting in a chess table. And I should have play tested this because I don't know if they can fully access the fully access the chess table and play it, because I do put it on like an angle. And I know like chess tables in The Sims can be a little iffy sometimes. So you might have to just take away one of the chairs and just make it like a one-person chess table. I don't know. So yeah, I apologize. I promise I will start play testing my lots before I put them up for download from now on. But yeah, so just like a little corner of chess and a little lamp to light it up so they can play chess and have some light. And then I put in like some little cat stuff in the other corner. Nothing too crazy, just like a plant and some toys and whatnot. Because I think they do have a cat. The Sims that do live in this house in my Starlight Shores save file, I'm pretty sure it's a cat that lives there. Hopefully. Or else they have a dog that's gonna, really just start playing with cat toys or something. I don't know. We move on to the only bathroom in the entire house. Normally, I don't have houses that only have one bathroom. So it was a little bit of a challenge because I was like, this can't be just a powder bathroom. This has to fit in like a vanity, a full shower and tub, and a sink, and a toilet. So like this has to have everything because this is their only bathroom. So I put in a double sink so that way, if necessary, your Sims can both be using the sink at the same time, although that tends to not happen so much. It's a little bit more of a realistic kind of thing. I feel like houses in real life tend to have more of the necessity of having a double vanity, whereas like the Sims, like it doesn't really matter, to be quite honest. Also throughout the house, I did use probably quite a bit of OMSP, which is one more slot package. And it's just a mod that allows you to place stuff wherever the heck you want at different heights. It's a super useful mod. I definitely recommend it if you're into like decorating and stuff. If you're just like a gameplay person, I wouldn't recommend it. You probably wouldn't use it that much. But if you decorate a lot and really like cluttering up your Sims houses, I definitely recommend it. It's a super useful mod, but I do have quite a bit of that throughout the house. So just so you know, those are there, but they turn invisible in gameplay and stuff, which is really cool. So like the little checkers and stuff you don't see when playing your game. And then I was just trying to figure out something simple to put on this blank part of the wall. And so I was like, okay, let's do just a picture frame or something. And I just go through literally all my pictures. And I'm like, okay, sounds good. And I finally choose one. So that's the bathroom. It is very tight of a bathroom. I apologize. There's nothing I could really do, to be quite honest, to fix it, besides like expanding the entire house. But this is a renovate kind of video, and I'm not going to go and expand the entire house. I'm trying to keep these floor plans basically their original floor plans, but just better decorated. I'm not really into trying to rebuild the entire house or anything like that. I'm just trying to keep these floor plans just, you know, how they originally are, but just, you know, updated, and just everything looks better, more for the aesthetic than the actual flow of the house. Unless something's like really, really crazy, I'm probably not going to change it in these renovation videos. So that's why they have one tiny little bathroom, because I'm not going to change it. But I feel like I did a pretty good job of using the space, hopefully. I don't know. You guys can let me know. You'd be like, Brittany, you should have just done it so much better. You can let me know if you guys like it or not. But anyways, we are in the master bedroom, which is also the only bedroom. I am able to fit a full size bed and a crib in here. So there is room for a crib in here. But I mean, once the child or the baby becomes a child, definitely gonna have to go and upgrade the house or go buy a different house or something, because that child cannot continue living in their parents' room. There will not be any room in there for anyone. But yeah, so right now I'm just trying to figure out some pillows and blankets to put on the bed. That bed is custom content, of course. And I'm not exactly sure where I got it. Like I said, all that stuff will be listed in the CC text file that you guys can download. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun. I have this super cute like little duvet cover, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've like ever used this. I was like, why have I not used this? So I was really excited about that. And originally I was gonna do this orange one, but then looking at like the rest of the style of the house, once I started recoloring everything, I was like, this doesn't flow. This doesn't match like the homeowner's style, and it just isn't flowing. So I actually ended up changing it, but I love, love, love how the master bedroom turns out, and I cannot wait for you guys to see it, because, ooh, I would live in it. I would live in it in a heartbeat. I think it is so cute. And then just added a whole bunch of pillows. Yeah, just some pillows, made it all nice and fluffy. When your Sims sleep on the bed, like they will, like their heads will go through the pillows. But like, who's ever really taken photos of like their Sims in the bed? I don't really do that. For me, it doesn't really matter. If you're worried about that, or you don't like your Sims heads going through pillows, then you can definitely just delete them. I just feel like they give a nice accent to the room, and I just personally like them. Then going in and adding side tables and lamps, of course. Adding in little details. I actually didn't dress up their side tables as much as I normally do. Normally I add like a whole bunch of clutter, because I feel like a lot of people have cluttered side tables. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me that has a cluttered side table in real life. Mine's not like horribly cluttered, but I do have quite a bit of stuff on there, because it's like all the stuff that I need before I get ready for bed, stuff like that. So yeah, but this time I just kept it simple. Now we're adding in the little crib. Yes, a crib fits in here, and I'm pretty sure your Sims should have no issue walking and stuff. Everything should, in the master bedroom at least, flow perfectly fine. But yeah, so just adding in a dresser, a mirror, like they legit, I was able to like put in a lot in this master bedroom. So I was pretty surprised that I was able to do that, because normally I'd be like, it's not gonna fit. I have to delete something. But no, I was able to make it work. I did put in baby monitors. These come with some toddler set from the Sims 3 store. So if you want baby monitors, the Sims 3 store is the place to go for those. They're super awesome. If your Sims baby is like in the master bedroom and they're like out here in the living room, that's where I have the other baby monitor, then they can hear the baby and they'll go and take care of the baby automatically, which I think is just super cool. And then just adding in a few like plants and stuff to the outside, adding a little bit of decor on the porch. Honestly, at this point of decorating, I was like, I don't want to decorate anymore. I am worn out. I think I gave this, I'm pretty sure I decorated only in like 2 different times. So I decorated like the kitchen and living room all together, and then I decorated the rest of the house at another time. So at this point I was like, I am so tired of decorating. And so I feel a little upset because I didn't put my full best effort into the outside of the house. I didn't add in like the grill area that I wanted to add in and all that stuff. I kind of was just like, you know what, let's just add some chairs right here on the porch so they can sit. I added some stuff near the pool. I added a teeter-totter for their kid. And then I was like, okay, we're good. They can have some yard space for their child to run around in. But if you guys want to go in and add some more stuff onto the outside in the backyard especially, I say go for it, because there's definitely a whole lot of room out there. I did added this cute like little birdhouse. I thought that was so adorable, and I hardly ever use it, so I was like, yeah, I need to use it. But yeah, so just adding some loungers by the pool, because you know that's just like a given. If they want to tan or watch the kids play or take a nap, I guess, then they're good to go. They're all set. And then I also add my favorite little baskets. You guys will see in a little bit. I add my favorite baskets, fill them up with toys and everything, just kind of like some baseballs and footballs, stuff like that, stuff that you would use outside. I love, love, love doing this. And the baskets, if you're wondering, are from the Sims 3 store, so you'll have to get them from there. I love them though. I love filling them up with stuff and making them look like they're like real baskets. Anyways, I'm going to leave you guys here for the rest of the video. Make sure to stay tuned for the very end because you get to see everything all recolored. Everything like just magically comes together. You don't have to sit through me recoloring. But yeah, so anyways, check out the description bar for all the information. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not already subscribed, make sure to click that button down below. And I will see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.